I think that Kirk Cousins is probably the most successful athlete to ever walk the planet. Now, you're probably looking at me and saying, what is this person talking about? How is Kirk Cousins the most successful? He can't make the playoffs. He just recently got benched by the Atlanta Falcons. And he just signed a big contract just recently in the offseason. How is he the most successful athlete to ever walk the planet? Well, this person has made close to $500 million in his career. This person negotiated like guaranteed money out of his last 3 contracts or so. It's a genius. You think Kirk Cousins cares about getting benched by the Atlanta Falcons? You gotta pay me. It's fine. I'll be the most expensive backup in the history of football. Go ahead. Let kid play.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
We are back. We are back. We are back. The All Even Podcast is back. I'm back and I got a lot to say. I do. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. You can catch the show on Instagram, X, what's the other one? TikTok at All Even Media, at All Even Podcast on Instagram and X. You can listen to the show on Podbean as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We starting to tick up to that 11K, man. We getting very close. Very close. All you have to do is see this face and say, you know, I'm going to hit that subscribe button because he's very, very close. Very entertaining. Very good pod. Tell a friend to tell a friend because the page is growing. No Claw. Shouts to Claw. Claw's on vacation. But Jimmy, the super intern, is here. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
School is over for the semester. So now I have time to be a pod.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you're at pod and you are you pop in when you want to.
Things get hectic on Fridays for some reason.
Does it?
I do really try.
You don't, okay? Well, all I do is get a text. Hey, not gonna make it. I'm in Bermuda. I didn't even know this.
My parents love to book something for a Friday.
That is very true. They are very spontaneous people. They just go ahead and say, hey, we're going to, Florida. We're going to Disneyland. We're going to Arizona. It's just, I admire people who travel a lot, but, when you're needed here, it makes me feel bad. Get salty because I can't travel. But good to see you. Silent Assassin is here.
Yes.
How are you?
Pretty good.
How was your week?
Not too bad. Yeah.
Light? Busy?
In the middle.
Middle?
Doing some things, so.
Yeah. I think this is officially our Christmas show.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is next week, Wednesday. And I have my Christmas shirt on here. My season beatings shirt. Pause. I hate this time of year. I do. I hate it. Like all you see, all right. We got gift exchange at work. I'm just like, I feel weird because it's like, man, do I get you a cheap gift? Man, how you going to look at me if I get you like a $5 gift? It's the thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought about you and I bought this cheap gift.
I mean, I'm personally, I'm good with anything. I'm not going to expect, especially someone I'm just more like acquaintances with, work friends with. I'm not expecting a $50 gift, a few dollars, a $5-10 gift card, whatever, to get some.
So you're
coffee
good.
Or whatever. I'm
very
good.
Low maintenance when it comes to that.
Yeah, people who expect crazy things, it's you're in the wrong space, right?
Yeah. I think that if you're a grown ass person and people are handing out gifts and you get a gift and you get all mad, I didn't like this. You're a grown ass person. Go buy your own fucking gift. You can afford it.
Yeah.
What are you getting mad at somebody that they actually thought about your cheap ass and got you a gift? You over here getting upset that you got a sweater?
You know, even like say like I don't like the sweater, right? Whatever, for whatever reason, doesn't fit me, you know. I'm still gonna be like, oh, like that was really sweet.
Right.
Like, I appreciate it.
You didn't have to get me this ugly ass sweater.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thank you. I can be able to sell it on eBay or something. Give it away. Yeah. Put it on my dog. So, whatever you want to do with it. But it's like, come on now. Like, it's getting out of hand. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't like the fact that adults have kidnapped Christmas and the kids are just kind of left out in the cold. Like, yeah, what about me? And the adults like, well, what about me? What about you? It's about the kids. Get the kids the gifts. I don't give a damn about nothing else. I told Silent Assassin off mic, I was like, look, I'm going to just lie to everybody going forward and say, yo, you realize that my boss is a horrible person. He fired me right before Christmas. I don't have it. I don't got it. You know, I got bills to pay. I got these things coming up. I got cars. Can't do it. And when you do that, people feel bad. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you need anything? Do you need me to give you some money? Yes. Yes, you can actually give me money so that I can buy somebody else. That might be the look. That might be the move. But yeah, I don't like the whole Christmas thing, man. You know, the only thing I like about Christmas is watching my Christmas movies. I like the Home Alone. I gotta watch those two, right? And Die Hard. That's it. Those are the only Christmas movies I like. That's it. People say that Die Hard is not a Christmas. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He was in the airport at Christmas. Okay. He was killing bad guys on Christmas. All right, so it's a Christmas movie. That's it. That's it. So, for people that love Christmas, respect to y'all, but I don't care. Lots to get into, though. We got the NFL to discuss, but I'm not talking about no damn Thursday Night Football. We don't care. We are going to go into some interesting stuff because, man, oh man, what the hell is going on in New York? Woody Johnson has lost his mind, and now the world knows it. I knew this, and I talked about it 3+ weeks ago. Nobody wanted to listen to me, but now you're starting to see the reports come out. Oh, it's a shock. Oh. We have Aaron Rodgers versus Ryan Clark. That's actually been very good. Love the way that's played out. Michael Vick is a head coach for the first time in his life, and that's really good. Shouts to Michael Vick. LeBron James co-signs what I said a few weeks ago. Not in those words in regards to the NBA's dead, but he said that the NBA has a big problem that they need to fix. He's not talking about it right now, but he did put out that statement, and it's very powerful. Jontay Porter, we're going to talk about his sentencing. He was supposed to be sentenced today. He was, but not really. NBA All-Star game format has been changed. I want to discuss that. LeBron James is also the all-time minutes leader. I'll, give my man some flowers on that. And Darvin Ham. Everybody's talking about Darvin Ham. I'm going to bring this Darvin Ham stuff and I'm going to put it to bed tonight. Because enough. Enough of the Darvin baloney stuff. Enough. My irrelevant note. Matter of fact, we have baseball talk. We're going to talk a little Mets. Talk a little off-season Mets because me and the Silent Assassin had our first argument. And I refuse to buckle and bend to her side of the argument. I won't do it. I won't do it. Okay, I have my stance and I'm sticking to it. Relevant news of the week. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Before I get into all that stuff, though, I am a comic book guy. I always have been. When I was a kid, I used to have a whole bunch of comic books. I had Iron Man, I had Batman, I had Spider-Man. I had this big kind of like cardboard or whatever kind of container full of comics. And I read all of them, right? To just entertain myself with that. I got to the point where I would start to draw these comics. I couldn't draw them out right like that, so I used to take my tracing paper and I used to trace them. And I've always been fascinated with it. Captain America is one of my favorites. Batman is my guy. But there's always another one as well. There's a trio for me. It's Superman. Superman's third, but he's up there. Man, my man sent me, one of my good friends, Hove, and shouts to Hove, sent me the new Superman trailer. Had dropped yesterday. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I shed a little tear. Because first off, when you hear that music anyway, that song gets you every time. Every time I hear it, it gets me. Right? Think about Christopher Reeves. Think about all the great movies that they had, right? But this movie, this trailer, it's a teaser, but man, they knocked it out of the park. The guy looks like Superman, got a nice build, is tall, got the little curl, looks doofy. I love it, right? Lex Luthor, I like who they got playing Lex. It's great. They got a whole bunch of other villains in there. It was great. But the one part that got me was none of that stuff. It wasn't Lex. It wasn't the fact that the guy that they got playing Superman is it looks the part, right? The villains, all the CG, the action, all that stuff is nice. But that's not what got me. What got me was they have Crypto in the damn movie. Crypto's the dog. That's great. It's the first time that Crypto is going to be depicted on camera. I loved it. I loved it, man. I cannot wait for this summer. This is one of the summers that if you have a significant other and you're young, you break up with them before the summer because you want to you want to make sure that you are available to be able to watch all of these movies and hang out with your friends. Right? So what I used to do when I was young. I was like, look, what is it, about April? May is blockbuster movie season. Let me send that text. Say, hey, things aren't working out. Like I'm able to just be free for the summer. Right? I don't have to worry about that problem. I am engaged. I'm about to be married. It's fine. We can see it together. Right? But for you young people that might have some, flings out there, just let go of it. Okay? Let go of it. Say, hey, it's not working out. And then you have your plans. You can be able to do whatever the hell you want. Watch Superman. Watch all these things. Well, it's going to be a great summer. Start with Superman. Can't wait. Can't wait. I don't think I have another topic. Off topic. I think that's it. Superman. What I saw from that movie, I think DC is back. James Gunn is behind it. He's going to revamp the whole DC universe. And if this is the jump start of it, if this is it, I think it's saved. I think DC can be saved. I didn't think so. Because after that Joker shit that they dropped a couple of months ago, the damn musical, right? I thought it was over. But man, it's kind of fitting, right? You go ahead and have this stupid ass movie that comes out and everybody hates it, right? And then who has to save DC again? Huh? Who has to come along with the red cape and say, come on with me. I'ma save this. Soup! Right? We got Soup. So I'm good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I can't wait. After the break, though, it gets really dicey because I got the Jets to talk about. And man, oh man, is this going to be a good one after the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Whoa, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, let me get the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this yo, what's up, man? All Even. Yo, oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump in the
All
camera?
Even podcast, right?
Yeah, all
Shout out
even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even? That's your man?
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast.
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
G. Put him in G.
Oh.
Shout out, G.
Oh. Cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. I'm not even going to call this Jets Watch because it's not Jets Watch. But we are going to talk about those Jets. And boy, oh boy, I love being right. I mean, there's nothing that people haven't figured out already. This has been a ongoing disaster for the last 24 years. It's nothing new. Anybody who's a Jets fan, follows the Jets, follows New York sports, they know that Woody Johnson has been an absolute disaster. He's a meddling owner. It's one thing to be a guy that owns the team and you cut the checks and you're not hiring the right people to run the front office. Obviously, you're going to take the blame because you're the owner. There's another thing about you hiring the person and then meddling in it and destroying and not even allowing these people to actually do their jobs fully. Well, Woody Johnson is the epitome of that. So there's a whole bunch of stories that have been going, in the media now that have been leaked. And the question is why? I'm going to get to that in a second. But let's go ahead and go dissect through these stories, shall we? Now, give credit to Zach Rosenblatt, Diana Rossini, and Michael Silver. They wrote their piece on The Athletic, or in The Athletic, about Woody Johnson and his crazy, crazy stories pertaining to Jets. Let's see. I'm going to go through it. We've heard about the whole Jerry Jeudy Madden situation where his teenage sons playing the game. Woody Johnson sees the ratings of the player and decides to nix the trade because he believes that the guy's Madden rating was too low. So you're an owner of a professional football team and you are making decisions based on a video game because the person's rating was too low. Not realizing he doesn't even know who Jerry Jeudy is. But here's my particular question. Where's the GM? If I hire you to do a job, if I'm Joe Douglas in that situation, I'm like, why are you coming down here? You hired me to be the general manager. Why do I need to talk to you about it? You don't know shit about football. It'd be one thing if you're talking to Robert Kraft, right? Woody Johnson knows nothing about, all he knows about is baby oil and powder. And being the ambassador that he no longer is. The Trump didn't even give him another spot. Why? I wonder why. Huh? This idiot. I'm not going to mince words here. He is an idiot. So that's one story. The whole Jerry Jeudy thing, right? Then we have a story of Mike White steps in for Zach Wilson, right? Mike White was the guy that was actually playing better in practice, so they decided to give Mike White the job. Mike White ended up getting a really, really bad rib injury, broke a couple of ribs, and was out. He was in and out of the lineup for a few. And there's a rumor, or there's a story here that said that Woody Johnson cursed at Mike White and told him how much he sucked after playing through broken ribs. He has his sons in the locker room that when Robert Saleh got fired and the interim coach, Jeff Ulbrich, was there, and they got their first win. He got his first win as a head coach. Aaron Rodgers had plans to give that game ball to Jeff Ulbrich. Because they always do that. You see that in the videos. Hey, game ball. Everybody rushes them, right? Put the Gatorade on them. And, the water bath, all that shit, right? But no. One of the stupid-ass kids takes the ball and gives it to Garrett Wilson. What are we doing? This is what we do? You have your kids in the draft room giving you advice?
Taking calls.
Taking calls?
Someone.
Making calls? There's some stories out there that Joe Douglas said that he has to answer to a teenager. I don't mean to be mean. I don't. But just like I said last week, Alan Assassins, that I am mean when I have to be. In a situation like this, when you have your two idiot teenage kids trying to be a part of your football franchise that you yourself have no idea what the fuck you're doing, we have problems. And when you have your son, Brick Johnson, making decisions, the only Brick that I know, the only Brick I've ever heard, right? In regards to a person, is Brick Tamlin from what's it called? Anchorman. You know who Brick Tomlin is? In the movie, he portrays an idiot. So, foreshadowing Mr. Brick Johnson's life as an 18-year-old kid that has no idea what the hell is going on with football, you've been past that because your father passed that on to you. He's an idiot, and so are you. And the sad part is that when you have to deal, it's like being at a job, right? And you know that your boss is an idiot. You can't say anything, but you know they're dumb. And then you see their family come in there, and then they have people that want to talk to you about how the fuck to do your job, right? Mind you, they're never there, but they got something to say. You have no idea how the company works, but yet you have something to say to me. If I was Joe Douglas, I'd have quit years ago. How do you allow this man to fire you and embarrass you mid-season? You should have quit. I don't see how anybody who's worth anything would work for somebody like Woody Johnson. Because you want to be able to say, my owner understands what's needed to be able to help us succeed. Why would you go work for somebody who's going to come down there and say, first off, my kid wants to say, get him out of here. The grown-ass men, they ain't got clothes on. What you got your kid in here for? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't see how any players are ever coming to the Jets anytime soon. Who's gonna come here for any amount of money?
For what?
Yeah,
for what?
Looks bad.
Aaron, there's speculation out there that Aaron Rodgers and Woody Johnson have a rift. What gave it away? Was it the fact that Woody Johnson came down after week 4 and said, we should bench Aaron Rodgers? The fucking team was, what were they, 3-1 at that point? 2-2?
I think so, yeah.
You gonna bench your quarterback at 2-2? He's an idiot. Bill Belichick, who's hated Woody Johnson for decades, actually said, you know what? Let me gauge to see what the Jets are looking at, to see if there's some interest here in regards to getting me on board. They didn't even call him back. That's Bill Belichick. So who do I trust Woody Johnson to be able to hire? As a Jets fan, you feel lost right now. This has similar feelings as Met fans with the Wilpons. The only difference is, this is where I'll give the Wilpons credit. They weren't as dumb as Woody Johnson. At least they would put people in charge that were smart. They had Sandy Alderson for a while. Sandy was pretty good. He was all right. Right? You had Steve Phillips. Yeah, you had some good people that were there. Woody Johnson is an idiot. I have never seen an owner this dumb in any sport. People used to criticize James Dolan all the time owning the Knicks, right? Oh, James Dolan is ruining the Knicks. No, he's not. All James Dolan did was write the check. Did he hire the right people at times? No. But guess what James Dolan said to himself? You know what? I finally got the right people. I'm just going to play the back and play my instruments in my band. Just going to move it to the side. Woody Johnson is reported that he goes around telling people to call him Mr. Ambassador. To what? To what? Now, all of these stories are out. It's funny. People are making jokes. But Jet fans are suffering. They are. It's bad enough that you're a Jets fan. But you have an idiot owner that is keeping your team from being successful. I don't care if Tom Brady was available. I don't care if Pat Mahomes said I wanted to be a Jet. It would never work. Because, again, your owner is an idiot. And this story right here is going to send shockwaves through the NFL. Because it's not something that every other owner didn't know. You go to the owners' meetings and everybody's like, oh shit, he's late. Everybody's here on time. And here comes Woody Johnson with a stupid white hat on. A stupid white Jets hat that he wears everywhere. Stupid, right? And he comes in there. I was waiting for Trump to call me because I thought I was gonna get the ambassador job again. They're just like, you weren't getting that job, Woody. Trump had one, he had you there, gave you that job, and he said, I can't have this guy here anymore. Even Trump didn't want you. And that says a lot. When Trump says you're an idiot, that says a lot. The owners around the league know that Woody Johnson is an idiot. They can't say anything because there's a brotherhood there, right? But if a reporter comes around and says, hey, anonymous owner, have anything to say about this whole Woody Johnson thing? Oh, boy, do I. You know the stories that I can tell you about what he's told me, about what his plans are for his idiot sons in that place? We go home and we laugh about it. It's a joke. So we would love for the Jets to be profitable, but we can't force them to sell. So here comes that scenario that I was telling you about earlier that I would discuss. What does this all mean? The last time we saw a barrage of stories like this was when Dan Snyder was the owner of the Washington Redskins Commanders football team. And we saw all the allegations of a toxic environment, allegations of harassment, the whole insensitivity around the Redskins name, where Nike was going to force to pull out if you didn't change it, right? All of these stories started to break. And then the email thing came out. And that's when they were like, oh, it's got to sell. We got to force them out. You see what's happening here? All of these stories are coming out. Why? Because maybe, just maybe, somebody's trying to force Woody Johnson to sell. If you can be able to create a firestorm around an idiot owner And now the world is going to be talking about this for a very long time. It keeps his name negatively in the press, and that's not good for business. That's going to hurt your Johnson & Johnson baby oil, your powder, your Vaseline. Going to hurt all those things, right? That's my angle here. I think that they're trying to get Woody to sell. And boy, howdy, would that make Jet fans happy. Finally, if they can get that idiot out of town, and him and his idiot children as well. Take Brick, my sweet Brick, out of here. And give the Jets a real owner and give them a fair chance to actually compete in the New York market. This is the biggest market in the world in sports, especially. And you have two failing franchises because you have two idiot owners running both of them. It's a disgrace. At least the Maras, they kind of know what they're doing, maybe. They knew that they wanted to keep Saquon, and the GM said, $3 million? No! It's too much. We've seen what happened there, right? Saquon is going to be in the top 3 in MVP votes. How did that work? Idiot ownership will sink your franchise. It doesn't matter who you have. It doesn't matter who's your quarterback, who your great players are. If you have an idiot owner, you won't go anywhere. Period. So, here's a scenario for you. Hypothetical. If the Jets were for sale, who would be at the forefront of buying that team? We would hope that it would be Steve Cohen. He has the money. He already owns the Mets. And wouldn't that be nice to have him do that and put the Jets back where they belong? In Queens, where they played for a very long time. They played 20 years at Shea Stadium and in Long Island. That's where they belong. But dumbass Woody Johnson built that stupid-ass stadium with the Giants that nobody likes. It's one of the worst stadiums in football. The turf is bad. The amenities are bad. I remember one time I went there and I went to go get a cheeseburger, right? This was the worst cheeseburger I've ever had. First off, the patty was not even like cooked all the way through. And they just slapped the cheese on top of it after, and the cheese didn't even melt. $13. $13. That is the microcosm. It's a microcosm of what the Jets are. They're a fucking disaster. And not because of the on-field performance, because I don't believe that this Jets team is that bad on field. But when you have that dummy up there with that white hat, and he looks like a goof, and he has his sons in the locker room dictating stuff, and you have reports out there that Joe Douglas wasn't happy with the meddling of with the children in there. How are you supposed to do your job when you have children trying to tell you what to do? What is this? It makes sense why we're, as Jet fans, we're laughingstock. Because you got the guy making the decisions and writing the checks that's the biggest moron in the actual organization. Sometimes you have somebody that's, he's a ball boy or somebody that does a lot. They're not really that smart. They're not bright. People like them. But when you have the owner that's the dumbest person in the building, that's deflating. Because you know that there's no end to the madness in sight. It's wild. And they need to see how they can be able to... Listen, he bought the team, $600 million?
Yeah, like 6
Sell it
or something, yeah.
So you get $7 billion right now. Sell it. That's good profit. Sell the Jets. Walk away. And make all the fucking baby oil that you want. And put Brick in charge of it if you want to. But leave the Jets alone. You've owned it for 24 years, and you've owned it and made the Jets a laughing stock. They were bad before, but you made them worse. So I see the play. We're going to come back to this in a couple of months, and I'm going to be right here, and I'm going to say, I told you. I saw it. Jimmy says it all the time that I have some type of crystal ball when I speak. But I see things before it happens. That's all. I'm just a suffering Jets fan that wants change. I do. I remember that day when the Wilpons sold to Steve Cohen. I never thought that I would see that. Like, it didn't feel real that somebody else was going to own the Mets. It's coming. And Jet fans are going to celebrate in the streets. I'm telling you. When they can be able to throw batteries at Woody Johnson. That'd be great. Anyway, how much time we got? After the break, we'll discuss some more Jets news because Jets have been all in the media this week after the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
More media beef. Pause. We've seen a very, very interesting dynamic playing out in front of us. Ryan Clark and Aaron Rodgers. It's getting ugly. And I have my popcorn and I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to lie to you. I like to see people stepping out of character sometimes because a lot of times these personalities, whether it be on TV or even the professionals, they have this just boring, stoic approach to things because they don't want to make things a story. So they just kind of keep it as dull and boring as possible. Derek Jeter was the professor of this. Tom Brady, the professor of this, right? Boring interviews and give nobody any sound bites. Well, not Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark tends to criticize Aaron Rodgers a great deal. A lot of people as well. And called Aaron Rodgers a fraud. Aaron Rodgers then answered, he's on the Pat McAfee show every, Thursday or Tuesday, whatever it is. And kind of called out Ryan Clark without actually saying his name. Saying that, you got dudes that think that they're analysts or whatever it is, and they don't know shit about nothing. And people are picking sides. Will I pick a side? Sure. I'm always going to pick Aaron Rodgers' side. Why? Because he's the player. He's the current player. And he's the Hall of Famer. He's had a very, very decorated career. And I don't necessarily believe that Aaron Rodgers played so terrible this year that the Jets shouldn't be a better team than they are. I don't think that all of the problems that have happened in New York this year have been Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's well documented. We just had a segment on it about how bad the owner is. But I'm going to side with Aaron Rodgers for different reasons. When you have somebody in the media space that they put on TV and ask you questions because they know that you have a history with criticizing said player because they're doing it for what, Jimmy? Ratings. Right? it makes it look less credible when somebody is trying to sully somebody's name. I understand that people like to say that Aaron Rodgers is a weirdo and he's an eclectic guy and does all this shit. He likes to take mushrooms and all this other wild shit. That's fine. Lied about his vaccination status or whatever it was. I'm immunized and shit. I get it. They want to go ahead and kind of fabricate whatever happened in Green Bay and how that broke down. Fine. But I hate when an analyst steps outside of himself to try to make a point. To the point where there's other people that are very uncomfortable with what he's saying. And Pat McAfee is going to always side with Aaron Rodgers. Why? Because that's his man. But now you create a weird dynamic at ESPN. Because are we going to see Pat McAfee get on First Take? Probably not. Are we going to see Ryan Clark get on Pat McAfee's show? Probably not. But I'm always going to side with the player because for me, Aaron Rodgers knows more about the quarterback position in the game of football than a Ryan Clark will ever know. Not saying that Ryan Clark didn't play, he did. It's a different perspective, though. So for you to call somebody a fraud and use those words, for those people that actually know, I'm not going to say, and I won't, but for people that actually know when somebody's lying, makes it funnier. That's why I see when Aaron Rodgers actually responds to these jabs that he's getting, the first thing he does is smile. It's always noticeable when somebody attacks you and the first thing you do when you hear whatever they say is smile. There's a reaction there. There's not an anger. There's a, oh, you want to say something. I see. You're throwing stones from a glass house. That's the reaction that your face gives you because it's like, that person, I have so much ammunition to send this person's way. That's why you smile. If it hurts, if it really gets personal, you don't smile right away unless you're a sociopath. You get angry. You lash out. Your face changes. Your voice kind of inflects a little bit. You start to stutter maybe because you're so angry, trying to get it out. But a smile tells you all you need to know about somebody before they respond. So it's sad to see that this is the state of our sports, that you have analysts calling people frauds and this and that. It's a back and forth. But I'm always going to side with Aaron, especially when it comes to Ryan Clark. If it's somebody else, I'd be like, maybe that guy does have a point. But Ryan Clark, oh no. And there's reasons why I say it. I won't say it, but there's reasons for it. Because some people that know the situation, some people who know the person that's actually calling that other person a fraud, they know certain stories about a certain individual, and it's just like, isn't the pot calling the kettle black? That's all I'm going to say. Moving on. Kirk Cousins. I'd like to give a shout out to Kirk Cousins because I think that Kirk Cousins is probably the most successful athlete to ever walk the planet. I'm going to go out there on the limb and say that. I think he's the most successful athlete to ever walk the planet. Now you're probably looking at me and saying, what the fuck is this person talking about? How is Kirk Cousins the most successful? He can't make the playoffs. He just recently got benched by the Atlanta Falcons. And he just signed a big contract just recently in the offseason. How is he the most successful athlete to ever walk the planet? Well, this person has made close to $500 million in his career. This person negotiated like guaranteed money out of his last 3 contracts or so. It's a genius. It's a fucking genius. You think Kirk Cousins cares about getting benched by the Atlanta Falcons? You gotta pay me. It's fine. I'll be the most expensive backup in the history of football. Go ahead. Let the kid play. See what happens. I'll cheer him on. You want me to hold a clipboard? I'll hold a clipboard. You still gotta pay me $30-something million. What do I care? The most successful athlete walking the planet. You know who's right behind him? Ben Simmons. You know who's right behind him? Joel Embiid. These guys are like, man, listen, we make some money, but that dude, Kirk Cousins, bro, how'd he do it? Everybody was like, yo, the Falcons are going to be good this year. Oh, they're going to have a great team, firepower. And what did I say? I said, pump the brakes. We got to see how it plays out. And people looked at me like I was crazy. Well, as Jimmy the super intern would say, crystal ball. You got to be patient with certain things. Just because guys are good on paper, football is a very interesting sport. You can have great players, but if it doesn't click, it's any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, you can look like Super Bowl champions, and then in another Sunday, you can look like the fucking Jets or the Carolina Panthers or those New York Giants. Look horrible. So, yeah, I don't think Kirk Cousins cares, but I think Michael Penix deserves a look. I think Michael Penix, if given an extended look, I don't think he's ever going to relinquish that job again. I think that kid is super talented, mature, ready for the spotlight. But for anybody to give Kirk Cousins that type of money, knowing his history of not being a clutch quarterback, and you probably paid him to be a bridge quarterback, this is the most expensive bridge quarterback in the history of football. But he, again, does not care. He's going to get paid regardless. And if you gotta release him or cut him, he's going to get his money. So what does he care? This is why he's the most successful, is because he set himself up to always win. And you got to respect that. You do. He might be a bum on the court, on the field. But, man, you talk about negotiation-wise, GOAT. GOAT player. He is. Moving on. Michael Vick is a head coach. Michael Vick has accepted the job at Norfolk State University to be their head coach. I am curious to see what happens. I hope Michael Vick is successful. You're seeing a trend now. It's going to be more of a trend going forward where you're going to have athletes, former NFL players that are getting head coaching jobs at the college levels because that experience, that name recognition, that respect that young players will have for a guy like that, it matters. It matters at the recruiting situation or the recruiting trail because now you got NIL involved. These kids look at some balding white head coach that comes to their door like, you got to make sure you study hard and, you can be able to be the fifth string guy and you can work your way up to the starter. They're going to look at you and be like, bruh, I don't care about none of that. First of all I care about is how much you paying, right? And am I going to start? Because if I don't get both of those things, I'm not coming to your little rinky-dink school. So it's completely different. So if you got a guy like Michael Vick that can be able to sit down with these kids, you have an advantage to be able to get a kid and maybe not have to sacrifice a lot of NIL money. Why? Because this kid is like, yo, this guy knows how to get to the pros. He knows how to get me to the next level. He's going to prepare me to get to the next level. And I will be more confident going here than some other Power 5 school that, yeah, it's a big school, but I might not get the opportunity to be able to learn under a guy like Michael Vick. It's big. So I hope he's successful, man. I'm a huge Michael Vick fan. Deion Sanders, all of these guys that are getting these opportunities to be head coaches, man, salute to y'all, man. I think it's a great thing. So hopefully he gets a good staff. Hopefully he's able to stay there a while so he can be able to implement his system and go from there. Now it's time for my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Every week I go around and I see what stories we can find. There's some interesting stories this week. Some sad ones too, honestly. Party City shuts down after nearly 40 years of business. Where the hell are we going to get our balloons from and costumes? No, seriously.
Yeah, the funny thing is, actually, before I came here tonight, my mom's like, "Oh, I was in Party City. Everything was half off." I was like, "Why? I didn't even know this was a thing."
Had no idea.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I always went to the dollar stores.
I might have to go up in there because there's a Party City right in this neighborhood. I might have to go in there and see what's up.
Yeah.
Closing the doors. Like what? No, seriously. Outside of the dollar store, where do you get things?
I don't know.
Balloons, plates.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the little balloon machine where they go ahead and set that up and inflate the balloons. Where are you supposed to go now?
Yeah. Not like the dollar stores just gonna keep going up in price.
Right. That's gonna be $2 now. You ever go to this dollar store and you see all the people that work there? They're miserable. Now all of a sudden they're gonna get ransacked with all of this Party City shit. Yeah, I need my balloons. I need air in them. It's gonna be a long line. People are gonna be upset. It's crazy. Party City was a great place. It's just like Toys R Us. Where's that? You gotta go to Walmart to get toys now? Who the hell goes there? It's crazy. But these kids can't enjoy things. Kids used to go through Party City and just run the aisles, right? Where you go now? This is a sad day. It's how you know you're getting old. Start to see things shut down. We gotta do better. Why can't somebody just buy it out? Right? Come on now. I saw that, right? And then I saw this one. Big Lots. They're going too. And some company was trying to buy it and it fell through. Come on, man. No more Big Lots. That's like IKEA shut down. But come on. Is there even an IKEA still? They still got those?
Yeah, they got them. Yeah.
I haven't seen one in a while.
This one in Hicksville.
Yeah?
Yeah. It gives me anxiety, that store. I don't know where I am.
Is that like the giant, right?
Yeah.
Freaky.
This place is crazy. They still got cheap stuff there?
Yeah, relatively, yeah.
That mat board desk that when you put it up and you sit there, it just collapses on you. Yeah, they still got those. That's how you know you was at IKEA. You can walk into somebody's house and be like, "Yeah, this person shopped at IKEA." You see it. You can see it. Spent the last 7 hours trying to put up a wardrobe that's leaning. Come on, man. Big Lots. Don't go. What are we doing? There was what was a Bed Bath & Beyond that closed down the other day, right?
Yeah, I think last year sometime.
Come on.
This year, yeah. Everything's going.
And they're not even replacing nothing. Well, what's the substitute?
I just see them just empty.
Amazon?
Yeah.
That's it? People are just ordering online now?
I
But
guess so.
listen, man, you can't substitute no damn Party City with Amazon. It's not the same feeling. They used to have all the candy in the front. Right? You just go there, big pack of candy for Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Get there for $3 or whatever it was. It was great. Can't do that now. I'm not going to the dollar store to get candy. I don't trust it. I don't. Listen, I'm one of those people. I see people go in there and buy food from the dollar store. I'm not going to knock you. If that's what you can afford, then you go ahead and do it. Ain't no way I'm buying nothing food related to dollar store. I've seen too many videos of people making food out of plastic. I'm not doing it. I don't trust it.
I'm okay with that. I'll get the candy, but anything else no.
You see?
Candy's wrapped up.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Plastic. I see it.
The
Plastic
candy's made out of plastic. In
Maybe.
plastic.
Maybe.
See? God, man, Party City. Say they so. It's terrible. The final season of Stranger Things has finished filming. Listen, I've been waiting for this. Matter of fact, I love the fact that it's the final season because they too old now, right? They look too old. You know what I mean? 7 looks old as hell. You know what I mean? Nice looking girl, but she old now.
She's literally married.
Yeah. She ain't not 7 no more.
11.
Yeah, what? 11, thank you. 11. She not 11 no more. What are we doing? But I can't wait though. I love this show.
Mm-hmm.
Love this show. And there's we're gonna see how it finishes because the last season, the way it finished, man, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. That dude is there. I don't know what 11 can do. I don't know if she could be able to take him out. But the way they kind of like told the story and had it play out was like, oh, this is why there's an upside down? What?
Yeah, last season was my favorite, I think. Well, the first, and then I think this one,
Yeah.
everything just unraveled.
I might have to rewatch it. I think I'm going to have to rewatch it before the new season comes in because there's a lot of things that you miss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might have to rewatch that. How the hell was I was calling her 7. My bad. 11. Yeah. But she's not 11 no more. She married now. Come on now. But yeah, I can't wait. If the original cast is back, I'm in it. Let's do it. Did you hear about this? Boeing Starliner astronauts stay in space for extended period. So it says NASA has announced that it is delaying the SpaceX Crew 10 launch, a move that will keep astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, who already had their stay aboard the International Space Station, unexpectedly extended in orbit even longer. Williams and Wilmore launched to space in June, piloting the first crew test flight. Blah, blah, blah. We see movies like this, don't we? All the time. Can't come home. And then it's like, sorry. Like, what do you mean they can't come home?
Mm. So it's either an alien gets on board and attacks, or
Right.
they go against each other and then kill one another.
There's a xenomorph in there. There's a xenomorph on that ship. Somebody, I'm telling you right now, I've seen this movie play out already. You're gonna have those spores, and that thing gonna come out. It's gonna attach itself. It's gonna skull fuck somebody and attach itself to it, and then it's gonna put the xenomorph in the stomach. That's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come back. What are you talking about? You can't come back. You sent me out here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean I can't come back? Send a ship out there and go get me. What? They didn't have an emergency plan?
I don't know. Anyone that wants to go to space now, I just don't get it. Even like astronauts, like who wants to
Yeah.
go to space right now?
The only time I want to go to space is when the aliens come in and say, look, if you want to come, that's all right. You can roll with us. And then I'll say to him, all right, look, I don't know where y'all going, but if you're going to stop at Red Rocks, I'm definitely down because I want to go to Mars. I do. That's where I want to go. I don't want to be going to just orbit in some space station. I've seen too many movies like that where the space station is half of the space station crashes and then you get sucked into the abyss. We've seen this. Mm-hmm. Or somebody has a crazy illness and then it just spreads like wildfire and somebody gets infected and they're this monster rolling around. We've seen this. We've seen the Jason in Space movie. We've seen this. You can't come back. Did they know this? Was this a clause in the contract? Look, we're going to send y'all out there. But hey, you got to sign this contract that says if you don't come back, we're not responsible for you. Yeah, sure. It's fine. What do you mean you can't come back? Just send the ship up there. They've been gone since June. How long is it going to take the ship to get up there?
Even like the resources too, like how much they have left
right.
at this point.
How much air, how much food they got? They probably fat as hell right now. Eating all that bad food, that dry ass food up there. It's crazy. You can't come back. Where would you go if you knew that there was a chance that you couldn't come back?
It has to be like a real thing, or
no.
I would see if like heaven and hell were like real.
Oh, that's a good one.
And see who's like up there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Where would you go first?
Maybe say hi to the devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I could get rid of my evil sins.
Yeah.
Up in heaven. So.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I like that. Jimmy, what about you? Where would you go?
I don't really know. I don't have. Maybe just my house.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the house is always good.
Just chill there. We're like, I don't know, Mars seems cool, probably.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to be stuck there.
I would go to Hollow Earth. These people say that there's a Earth in... I'd go there. Yeah, I'd go there because if King Kong and Godzilla's there, why I want to go there too. That's where I want to go. If I know I can't come back, it's fine. I'll figure it out. Take my ass to Antarctica and go up there. Yeah. But it's crazy. Get them astronauts back. All this money and technology that Elon Musk got, he can't bring it back. He's the president. He can go ahead and do it. So that is my irrelevant news.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the... I mean, yeah, they stink.
After the break, some NBA topics. LeBron James says some stuff. And what the hell are they doing with the All-Star game? I don't know. After the break. So the NBA is struggling with ratings. And a lot of other things. LeBron James actually had a pre-game, or was it a post-game in Sacramento before they played their game, and said that the NBA has a effing three-point shooting problem. Like, teams are shooting way too many three-pointers. And he's not going to really talk about it right now in Sacramento because not really the place to do so. But there is a concern with players, with media personalities, fans. The NBA product right now is not good. I talked about this weeks ago, that they put so much attention into, the NBA Cup, the in-season tournament, that nothing else matters. The All-Star game has been a disaster for like at least 10 years. But the last 3 years has been virtually unwatchable. All-Star Weekend used to be an event. People used to go ahead and sit around the TV for All-Star Saturday night. dunk contest, 3-point contest, skills challenge. You had the celebrity game at like on Friday night that people used to like to watch. None of this shit is entertaining anymore because the people that you got for celebrities, it's just not fun. Like there's no pizzazz. There's nobody's looking forward to anything because it's a dead event. And then you get to the Sunday game, the actual game in itself. No one wants to play defense. It's worse than an exhibition because at least in an exhibition, guys actually play. They don't even play here. So why even have a game? Just have guys that are just shooting around and let the fans just sit there and watch people joke around for an hour or two. All you have to do is tell the players, just play fucking basketball. It's that simple. You don't need to have to put any money incentive into it. It's basketball. What's the difference? Like, why has it gotten to a point where guys are just not competing? Is it the money? Is it the fact that they're such high commodities now that they don't want to risk injury? If it's to the point where an all-star game, you're worried about injuring yourself, we have a bigger problem. Could you imagine if you're watching the home run derby for the baseball all-star weekend and guys are just taking half-ass hacks at the ball? Not even getting any launch angles. They just barely swinging and making contact.
I think defeats the purpose of why they're even there.
People are getting 4 home runs around. Like, what's the point of that? I've never heard anybody getting hurt swinging a baseball bat during a home run derby. Guys try, and even in the exhibition game, the All-Star game, it's a game that they play. But why does basketball have to have this entitled bullshit? Just play the game. It's not that hard. If you're a commissioner, you can't get your athletes to actually play in a game that they're selected by the fans to play in. This is the actual game for the fans. So you would think that as players, you would say, yo, the fans voted us in. This is the game that's actually predicated for them. That we would just play a regular fucking game. That they come and take their children to and spend thousands of fucking dollars to watch you play a regular game. It's not hard. So this whole fucking new format that they have, it's all-star game format. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up because I am interested to go over this.
So it's a tournament now?
Yes.
4 teams and 3 games?
That's the one. So read it off to me, please.
So 2 teams will meet in one semifinal game. The remaining 2 teams will meet in the other semifinal game, and the winning team from both those games play each other in a championship. The winner, for each game, the winner will be the first team to reach or surpass 40 points. Each team will have 8 players and be named for a TNT NBA analyst. The 24 NBA All-Star selections will be divided evenly into 3 teams, with the rosters drafted by TNT's Inside the NBA commentators and general managers Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny Smith. So it's Team Charles, Team Shaq, and Team Kenny.
Right.
Which they draft February 6th.
Right. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for that.
That seems to be most of it. Oh, wait, the 4th team will be the winning team from the championship game of the Castrol Rising Stars. Oh, so one of them is top first and second year NBA players and NBA G League standouts. And it's very confusing, it seems.
Extremely confusing and convoluted for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Like, it's to the point where they have run out of real legit ideas. So instead of just telling your players, hey, you guys just need to play basketball. Play like this is a in-season tournament game. Play like this is a regular season game. And give the fans exactly what they want. And if you don't play that way, and if you want to half-ass it, then you guys are going to get fined. Because if you're going to participate in the game and play it the right way. If you don't want to participate in All-Star Weekend and play in the game, then don't play. I'll find somebody who will. It's that simple. What are you creating? What are we doing? So now we got to see teams of 8. So is everybody going to play? How does it work? To 40?
That part seems weird.
This is dumb. But again, all of these things are being implemented by a guy who I don't like to make fun of because I think he's a very intelligent person, but Adam Silver tends to not really understand what the fuck he's doing at times. Simplify it. They have that acronym. What is it? KISS? KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. Hoops are very, very simple. You have your great players against other great players. There should be a bragging rights situation. When I'm playing against some guys that are good, I want to go ahead and beat their ass. Where is that level of competition? Problem is, you don't have that anymore because you play everybody now. It's a wide open league. Everybody has social media. Everybody's friends. There's no rivalries anymore. Divisions don't count. Divisions actually make rivalries. When your divisions count, you make hated rivalries within that division. I can't stand this team because they win the division all the time. So we're going to get them this year. So when those players see those other players at the All-Star, now you get that competition that you're looking for. Always goes back to the divisions. Every other sport on planet Earth has their divisions matter. Outside of the WNBA, because they don't have divisions. They don't have enough teams for that. It's not that simple. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. We don't need all this convoluted shit. 3-on-3 tournaments. We don't need all of this other stuff that you're putting in here. Got the WNBA 3-point contest with the NBA. We don't need none of that shit. Get somebody that can be able to dunk. Get some guys that are from the town. Get some real dunkers and get the energy and the excitement back into the game. It's not that hard. Allow these players to show some pride. It's about pride. The fans put you there. Show that. Give them one game that you can be able to play your ass off and for them to say, you know what, that was a really good game, man. I appreciate that. The game is about the fans. It's not about y'all. It's not about your homies and you contacting this guy. And it's about the fans. And I think that particular message has been lost, especially over the last 3 years. But it's been a decade problem, maybe even more. So Adam Silver, just keep it simple. And I don't want to call you stupid, because you're not. But go back to the basics. It's not that hard, but you have to make sure that you get the guys that are playing in this game, make them understand what the importance of them doing so is. Bad ratings leads to lower endorsement deals. Teams are not, brands are not going to want to endorse or sponsor the All-Star game because nobody's watching. Give them a reason to watch. And a fucking tournament is not going to do so. Moving on. Jontay Porter, Mr. Gambler, was supposed to be sentenced today. Well, they postponed the sentence to 2025. And the rumor is that they said that he's probably looking at anywhere between 3 and 4 years, which is wild. So I hope it's worth it. How much money did he make gambling? Like 80,000? 80,000 for 4 years and you an NBA player? Yo, there's dumb and then there's him. Like, the trade-off is crazy. I can get an $2, $3, $4 million contract, and I'm over here worrying about gambling? I can see if your man got caught up in it and, he used your account or whatever, and now it's like, yo, it looks like you did it when it wasn't you, but you're the one behind this. And now you got to sit in jail and think about what you did. Ain't going to be no NBA for you when you come out. That's over. It's crazy how athletes continue to self-sabotage. I don't get it. You see all of these examples of people crashing out, and you continue to go down that path and say, it ain't going to be me. Yeah, it will. Because you're not smart enough to realize that the storm is coming. It's one of those people that watch porn on a public computer. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna get bagged, sir. Public indecency. What?
I actually saw that when I was a child.
Yo,
So
that's messed up.
Something.
Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah. That is.
Like walked in the old guy just passing the computer. Just like, what is
They
that?
should have. Somebody didn't tackle his ass immediately?
No. Nope.
Billy clubbed the hell out of him. That's what they should have did. And threw his ass out the fucking door. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. Moving on. Jimmy brought this up off pod when we were talking about what we're going to discuss. And he made me upset. He did. Now, unintentionally, he did, because Jimmy's a very innocent guy, and he didn't mean any harm. I never think that Jimmy means harm. I never look at it that way. But I was upset, because he said to me, it's crazy. That Darvin Ham guy, 14-0 in the NBA Cup in-season tour, man, guy does good there. I'm just like, yeah. His team won the NBA Cup, and when he was the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers last year, they also did win the NBA Cup. But what's the difference between last year and this year? Now, I don't expect Jimmy to know the details. And like I said, he did this unintentionally, angering me. But he's not a fucking coach. He's not the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. I've never seen an assistant coach get credit for wins. So you got media sources like Clutch Points and all these other places. They love to put all these stupid ass stats out that have nothing to do with facts. So a layman that has no idea how to fucking, what the game is, they don't follow the game, so they don't know who the head coach of the Milwaukee fucking Bucks is. They don't care. They're going to be like, oh, okay, well, this is what they're reporting. I guess it's true. So I'm not going to kill Jimmy for that. I'll kill everybody else. Darvin Ham is not the head coach. It's Doc Rivers. He's a part of the staff. Shouts to him. But here's the other part that got me upset about Darvin Ham, and has nothing to do with Jimmy the Super Intern. He had an interview with someone, and Darvin Ham said, man, if this was any other situation, I would have got a contract extension from that team. made the Western Conference Finals, won the NBA in-season tournament. We had a bunch of injuries that we had to work through, blah, blah, blah. I would have got an extension. And I read it. I sat down and I thought about it. And I'm saying to myself, this fucking guy has no idea and takes no accountability for what he did. It's always somebody else's problem. This is why Darvin Ham got fired in LA. And I can tell you that personally because of my sources. I can tell you that the Lakers couldn't stand Darvin Ham. And the front office couldn't stand Darvin Ham. You know why? Because every time he'd get up there at the press conference, he would put the blame on everybody else but himself. The players. Oh, well, you got a 40-year-old player. You got a guy in AD that we're trying to keep healthy. It's always somebody else's problem. And even, couple of months removed from getting your ass canned, you're still not taking accountability for what you did. It wasn't Rob Pelinka or Jeannie Buss that put Taurean fucking Prince in the lineup and benched Austin Reeves. That wasn't them. That was you. It wasn't them, or wasn't LeBron and AD that came up with the defensive scheme of, we are not going to guard the three-point line. We're just going to let everyone shoot as many fucking threes as they want to. That's you. It's also funny that you constantly talk about other people, about the injuries, about LeBron being 40, AD with his checkered history about injuries, when AD doesn't have injury concerns. He's been one of the most durable players out of the last 5 seasons in the league. So what are we really talking about here? And here's the biggest thing about it. If Darvin Ham was this great coach, why didn't anybody hire him? Hello? Why didn't anybody hire him? Why didn't Darvin Ham get a head coaching job? If he did this great job, he's this great coach, why is he the assistant to a guy that's going to fail miserably in Milwaukee? Where were the teams lined up to sign Darvin Ham? So when you hear a guy like Darvin Ham don't take credit, I'm not saying that everything that happened in his tenure was his fault. I'd be foolish to tell you that. Everybody has a lot to blame, or has a shoulder to blame. LeBron, AD, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, players, the role players, and Darvin Ham. If Darvin Ham would have at any point said, you know what, I would have handled a lot of things differently. I made a lot of mistakes when I was there being the head coach, that if I get another opportunity, I'll make sure that I shore up those mistakes. I would commend him for that, because he finally took accountability. See, the thing is, people want to talk about J.J. Redick and how blah, blah, blah. But J.J. Redick made sure that he's not Darvin Ham. So he's like, oh, I never saw Darvin Ham take responsibility when they lose. I'm going to make sure I do that. So J.J., it's on me. I got to make sure these guys are ready. It's on me. It's my fault. They ain't game plan enough. Maybe I missed something watching the film study. I'll take the blame for this. That's what head coaches do. That's their job. Their job is to make sure that they talk up their players and then make sure that they are taking the brunt of the abuse for when things go wrong. But when you have a head coach doing, hey, well, he did it. Well, it's his fault. Wait. There's a reason why you don't have a job. the job, a head coaching job. You can be somebody's flunky if you want to. You can have clutch points in all these other places that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Prop you up as you're this guru of basketball because you haven't lost an in-season tournament game. Go ahead. Real basketball fans, Laker fans, they know the truth. They experienced it. You had players that complained about it. That's what I'm upset about. Is that people are portraying Darvin Ham like he's Phil fucking Jackson. He's not. Will he get another opportunity? I'm sure he will. But if the Milwaukee Bucks stumble and look bad, you can forget about him getting another job. I'm just saying. NBA Cup. Craziness. After the break, some Mets talk. Finally, I can be happy. Not really, though, because Silent Assassin. We're going to fight after the break. Welcome back, y'all. Mets offseason continues as the Mets try to add to their mega blockbuster signing. Met fans are starting to get antsy. I see on the message boards. We need to make moves. What's going on? David Stearns is asleep at the wheel. What's going on? He's signing all these minor league deals. Where's Sean Manaea? Where's Pete Alonso? Where's all these players? All these players are getting signed. And look what the Yankees are doing. Shut up. Be happy with Juan Soto. I told you, I don't care what happens. Me and Silent Assassin had this conversation before Juan Soto even got signed. And I said, give me your ideal offseason. She laid it out very detailed. It was great. And I said to her, that's nice. My offseason plan was Juan Soto. Don't care about nothing else. Okay? I got what I wanted. Now, Met fans are clamoring, for the return of Pete Alonso. Even the Silent Assassin, I said to her, you're wrong. She said, well, you know what? Well, the person that you want, their numbers are not that far away from each other. I said, blasphemous. You're a liar, and I'm going to prove it to you. Right? So we go ahead and go on to Baseball Reference. Well, we're looking at Pete's numbers, Pete Alonso. And then we're going to look at Vladdy Jr.'s stats. And I said, this is where I'm going to get her right now. Okay, I'm going to get her right now. I'm looking at it. Okay, yeah, here. OPS. I'm going to start with that. Okay. Vladdy had 1 year where OPS was over 1,000. That was, 2022 season. But she's right. Their numbers aren't that far away from each other. But here's the biggest problem that I'm having. If the numbers are kind of equal, obviously the batting average for Vladdy is going to be higher. I think his OPS, I think his on base is a little higher. Maybe it's comparable. He's younger. Here's my biggest problem with Pete coming back. I don't know if he's an impact in the locker room. Like, if you're going to bring back a guy, and just most fans, they want him back for nostalgic reasons. It's not about him being a great first baseman. It's not him being a great example for the team. It's not him being the Francisco Lindor type of leader. It's none of that stuff. It's just the fact that he's your guy. He's a homegrown talent and you want him back. That's it. Give me another reason, Silent Assassin, why you want Pete back. Go ahead.
I guess also just looking at next year.
Right.
Because we can't have Vladdy. He's not till 2026. So just looking at next year coming up. I just see, there's Goldsmith out there. There's Carlos Santana. There's potential of trade. I just see Pete being the best fit if we're just looking at next year. If we want to win it all, I could see potentially Vladdy coming in, free agency possibly, but I don't know. I just, like you said, after his rookie year, I agree, his personality toward the team kind of went down, and I don't really see him as that figure. But also, too, do they need, another? They have Lindor, they have Nimmo, kind of like the team leaders. I don't know if he necessarily needs to have that leadership. I think he gets along with the team. I haven't heard anything negative come out from ex-teammates and whatnot. So I don't know, just looking at next year, just literally in itself, we want to win it all. We got the top player. This is, Cohen's last year of his goal. Obviously, doesn't have to happen within his what was it, 3 to 5 years?
He just extended it.
Yeah, that could be forever. We'll have championships every single year, but I don't know. I just, for next year, just in itself, the only best fit I see for first base is Pete Alonso for this team. So.
I empathize and sympathize with all you Mets fans that want Pete back. I'm saying we shouldn't, because we can get Paul Goldschmidt on a 1-year deal. You can have good defense. Go sign Bregman. You put Vientos at DH. That's it. And then Goldschmidt can leave. He go fuck off after a year, and then we can go get Vladdy. Or we can find a way to go make a trade for somebody else, because we got all these prospects we can be able to ship out. That's all I'm saying. If I'm going to go invest big money into a first baseman, he got to be a sure thing. The Braves have a sure thing with Olsen. The Dodgers have a sure thing with Freddie Freeman. Even the damn Phillies have a sure thing with Bryce Harper at first. We ain't got that. Right? And what is the common denominator for all three of those guys I just named?
They got the awards.
Got the awards, yes. That's a good guess. Left-handed
yes.
bats. When you are a left-handed bat as a first baseman, you are a special breed of player. That's what they're looking for. When you're a right-handed first baseman power hitter, you're at a disadvantage. Pete Alonso's on the wrong side of 30. Defensively, he's going to get worse. Offensively, he may have 3 good years. Maybe. Productive. I don't see Pete Alonso being productive like a Jim Tomei late in his career. I don't see that happening. So what are you actually signing? Are we trying to win the World Series now and forget it? Yeah, that could be a short-term plan, and I'm not against that. If that's the case, sign him for 3 years. 3 years, $90 million. Done. Opt out after the first year or opt out after every year if he wants to. But let's not drag this nonsense out. It's either you want to be here or not. Because there's other plans where they can be able to go to. And if it's up to David Stearns is cheap as hell. He went, look, man, I got 22 for you. Maybe we can go to 25. But anything after that, I'm out. We had a nice deal on the table for him a couple of years ago. He turned it down. All because, his agent, Boris, said, we can get more. No, you're not. You might get less. All because there's no market for Pete. So we're going to see what happens. Silent Assassin wants Pete. I don't. We're going to see how this plays out, because I don't think that we're going to get a resolution either way anytime soon. And that's the problem that I'm having. I think this is going to stretch out maybe close to February or even March.
Yeah, I was seeing probably recently a few of Boris's clients just go throughout even spring training on a deal.
Yeah.
Just because they're kind of waiting for the top dollar. But
Right.
I don't think it's going to get there.
That's what Scott Boras does, man. He tells his clients to kind of wait it out. It's kind of worked out for him in his history. So we'll see. But the Mets would be foolish to go anything over 5 years for Pete Alonso. Foolish. I don't care what the money is. It's foolish. It's a good player. Ended up having a good postseason after a dreadful season. But now I'm standing on it. I don't care. No Pete. No Yeet, no Pete. We want him out. I want Vladdy in here. I want nothing but Dominican, Puerto Rican, Ecuadorian, Colombian. I want all of them in here. Okay? Oh my God, Mets was fire. We don't want no Pete. We don't need him. We don't need his boring ass there. That's all I'm saying. I wonder who else we can get, though. If there was an ideal first baseman, I know Pete is your guy. He's the ideal piece for you. But who would make you say, yeah, fuck Pete. We can go get somebody else.
And in all of baseball, just like this free agent class.
All of baseball.
All of baseball. Back then, if they had different owner, I would want Harper or Freeman should be first baseman.
Same thing with me. I think the only, I like Pete. I want him gone. If he comes back, cool. But if there was an ideal player I would want at first baseman, it's Bryce Harper. Could you imagine Bryce Harper and Juan Soto in the same lineup? Like this is 2019.
So literally the Nationals had it all.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable they had that. It's ridiculous how good they were. That's why they won. Listen, Juan Soto was a key point in that World Series run, so shouts to him. But yeah, I think it's time to move on from Pete, but I could be wrong. Now it's time for the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask who is the Dummy of the Week? Jimmy, who you got, sir?
So I got just two quick ones.
Okay.
I'm going to go just Woody Johnson.
That's fair.
I was going to give it to Brick, but thinking about it, this is probably a parenting issue.
Absolutely.
And Joel Embiid.
Okay.
I'm surprised nobody in the city of Philadelphia has attacked him yet.
Oh, they have.
They physically.
Find
him out inside the stadium and just. I don't know. I can't. I'm so glad he's not on the Knicks. I was thinking about that last time I watched him play. So he gets my dummy.
Very entitled guy that doesn't look like he plays particularly hard.
Yeah.
Or cares.
But then he's dirty.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me. And then he's dirty. I don't know. He gets on my nerves.
And complains.
Yeah.
So.
It annoys me.
Yeah, Joel Embiid, just because you are who you are, you get the
dummy. Yeah.
Silent Assassin, who you got?
I'm going with Elon Musk.
Elon Musk gets the
dummy. Yeah.
Why?
So I saw his net worth has reached over $400 billion, and there was a breakdown of what he could potentially do with this money, save hundreds of million of kids, save them from starvation, clean a bunch of water in the world and all these things. And now instead of doing that, he just got his nose in politics, ruining a bunch of stuff, and like you said, being the president right now. So
yeah. So yeah. President Musk, what's crazy is that he has all of this money, yet he is advocating for cutting $100+ million from the Children's Cancer Foundation. Yeah. This is what happens. Look, this is what happens when you go ahead and vote idiots in. So, this is your decision. America, you have spoken. And they're going to go ahead and deliver these bad policies and rip this country to shreds, and you do what you want. I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to sit here and watch it burn. I've already put in my application for Mars. So that's what I'm waiting for. But yes, Elon Musk gets the
dummy. Yeah.
Those were great. He actually took mine, Woody Johnson. I mean, I went on a diatribe about him, so I don't need to
my bad.
Continue to go further in on the oil man. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, Taco Bell. Taco Bell gets my dummy. Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's certain places that just shouldn't have certain shit. Now, I go to McDonald's. Back in the days, I used to go to McDonald's to get the fries because they're known for their fries, right? And remember, they had the special limited edition McRib that everybody loved, right? They even had that stupid ass sandwich a couple of weeks ago, the chicken Big Mac that people said was trash, right? It's horrible. But at least they tried something for a limited time and now it's gone, right? Now other places that do things and, you know, they have these limited packages, fine. I got no problem with those. But when you got Taco Bell going into business and they making fries and chicken nuggets, what are you doing? We don't go there for that. You are the 12 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock binge type of food. We're not coming to you at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We coming to you after the strippers out there and they hungry, people out there getting food and they wasted, they weed it up. That's what they want. They not coming to Taco Bell and say, you know what, bro? I need some chicken nuggets. We going to Taco Bell to get something. We don't, no. You go to Burger King, Wendy's, you go to McDonald's. That's what you go there for. You go to Taco Bell for tacos. Could you imagine McDonald's selling a quesadilla? For limited time only. We got quesadillas. Anybody gonna buy that shit? Maybe some fat people out there will probably do. But you understand what I'm saying? Come on now. I seen this. I was immediately upset. What are you trying to do to us? You're lying. What's in that chicken nugget? Huh? Is there rice in there? Is it a burrito nugget? They better have some type of Taco Bell feature in there. It can't be no regular nugget. And them fries, I seen the fries, they look all burnt out. What is this? There's only a few places that know how to make fries properly, right? You ever go to Burger King, fries are always cold and bad, right? You don't want that. Wendy's done jacked up their fries. I don't know what the hell they did. Natural cut. Garbage cut is what I call them, right? Receptacle cut. That's what they are. But McDonald's has the great fries. You know, diners have great fries. Certain delis have good fries. You don't go to Taco Bell for no damn fries. It's foolishness. It's bad enough they had the taco shell, that's the Dorito shell. Was that? Yeah. Is it good? It's garbage. Give it to my nephew, he loves it. This is a kid. I understand that. You're a grown ass person going in there, let me get that Dorito taco. No. Fries. You're gonna embarrass. I wanna know the first person that goes in there and he has his girl with him, right? Says, what do you want, girl? Oh, you know, I want the burrito and the quesadilla. And then he orders and says, yeah, I'd like the chicken nuggets and the fries. She gonna look at him and say that he's a sociopath and maybe a serial killer. Who's gonna buy that at that store? That's foolishness. So Taco Bell, I don't know what y'all trying to do. I don't know what y'all trying to sell us. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, and I'm not buying it. It's not gonna happen. So y'all get the dummy. Yeah. Stick to what you know. Right? That's like Chipotle. Y'all know what y'all do well. Don't go and do something else. Don't make waffles at Chipotle. Nobody cares about that. Okay? That is my dummy of the week. I don't have a PSA. I don't. Because I don't need one. I'm just going to watch things unfold. But I see the plays in certain things. We have drones out there that people are confusing with alien spacecrafts and saying that they're coming out of the oceans. We have the conspiracies are just getting out of control. There's a nuclear bomb here and they're searching for it. Of all the places that a nuclear bomb would be, actually fucking think he would be in New Jersey? Really? Really? Because if there is a nuclear bomb, I'd say put it in Newark and move everybody out and blow that shit up. Newark is horrible. It's a terrible place. You know, it's not here. Like, we gotta be better than this conspiracy. I'm just tired of it. I need a break. If it's not one thing, and this is the thing about conspiracy theorists to me, is that when one gets debunked, they just completely just ignore all the facts that came out and just move on to the next thing. So when you ask them about the other thing, that's old news. They're trying to cover it up. What? So if I do have a mini PSA, just put the phones down. Put the phones down and talk to each other again. Put the phones down, go hang out with your friends, put it in a bag somewhere, and just have conversations again. Instead of jumping on TikTok and your Reddits and losing your minds about things that don't matter. Even if the aliens were here, what are you gonna do about it? Even if there is a nuclear bomb in New Jersey, what are you particularly going to do about it? So only two things you could do: accept it or move to China or Canada. If you don't, and you're sitting on your couch and you're still talking about this thing, who cares? Sit down, put your phone away, decompress, and enjoy life. We are in the Christmas season. You're supposed to be around family. You're supposed to get mad about presents that you're not getting. You know, stupid coleslaw that somebody says they're gonna make and it tastes horrible. This is the season of bad potato salad, bad chicken salad, bad salad altogether. People tossing salads, whatever it is. But put the phones down and just be people again. That's my PSA. You know, we'll have another show before the new year, but we gotta get back to just being normal. We're a little bit too hyper-focused and hypersensitive and really just scared because of this. This has made people more fidgety and more panicky and more on edge than any time in recent history. Put them down. Enjoy your life and see that it's not so bad to be able to have a conversation with somebody instead of sending a text. That's all I'm saying. We'll be back next week. I hope something happens in sports. I hope Woody Johnson steps down. Or I hope that Bryce Harper demands a trade to the Mets. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's my wish. Till next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace. Brick Johnson. Who's Brick? First of all, you name somebody Brick. You have to be an obnoxious rich person. No poor person is gonna name their kid Brick. At all. And then to have a name like Brick Johnson, pause. Ayo. Relax. Brick Johnson. You're Brick.
My son is the champ. So get over it.